Kalimera from Corfu. I want to talk a bit about the upcoming full moon with eclipse that is taking place on this Friday, on the 19th of November. It will be a very powerful one because of its duration. So it will be the longest, the most long-lasting moon eclipse of the last 100 years. It will last for 3 hours and 28 minutes, and it will begin from CEST time, so Italian Swiss time, at about 7, and it will reach its apex at about 9. It's a powerful eclipse, because normally in the eclipses a lot of darkness comes up. But in this case even more, because the axis Taurus and Scorpio is involved. And Scorpio is the sign of shadow. So let's get ready to really be witnessing a lot of stuff that will come up in our shadows and in the collective shadow. The 97% of the surface will be covered. So even if it's a partial eclipse, it's look like almost a total one. And it will be a micro moon because it will be in its furthest point from Earth. This is also called the Beaver moon. The Beaver moon, why? Because in this moment of the year, the animals get ready to build their shelters for the winter. So what can we build in this moment that will give us this safety, this sense of protection, of cozy energy that we can, it's like a bubble that we need to create for the winter, for the period of time when we will have to go down, inward. So let's think about what strategies we can find, what routines in our daily life that will help us to really build this safe container in which we can really feel protected, nourished. This shelter where we can allow the creativity to fully express. There's a lot of tension still about the square between Saturn and Uranus. I've talked about it several times. So we still are in this tension of opposites. So the need for auto-preservation. I need to maintain some things. And the need to let go of what's obsolete, what's old, what's no longer useful for us. And to break free from ancient patterns, that is Uranus. And also the opposite of Taurus and Scorpio, which is the axis about attachment, clinging on to things, and jumping into the unknown. Do we have enough trust to jump into the unknown? To let go of what makes us feel safe in this moment? And it's a thin line between building something that, as I said before, are strategies that can really help us to anchor deeper in ourselves and create this safe container, but at the same time also recognizing that some of the strategies that we're using, maybe responding automatically to an ancient pattern, to something that is very ingrained in our DNA, is maybe something that we are stuck in. So let's try to understand, where are we so rigid? Where are we so immovable and we don't want to change form? We don't want to allow something new to get into our life. Also in these days preceding this full moon, this eclipse full moon, there is really an increase of this darkness that comes up, and at the same time, on the 10th of November, there was a conjunction between Mars and Mercury that was exactly square to Saturn. And so this position, this configuration had two gifts. One gift and one thing that is a shadow. The good thing was that it was triggered really the chance, also with some ruthlessness, to cut what's old, what's not needed, what is really old version of ourselves. And to have the focus, and really it's an act of will, very, very strong, that we can harness in this moment. But the shadow is also that we can really become very rigid, as I said, and really refuse the change. And that's going back to Taurus in this opposite dance between sun and moon. What struck me is the Sabian symbol connected to this eclipse, which is a woman in her 50s is moved by a new love. So this is the chance to get rid of the biological limits and change our life. There is a powerful urge for self-transformation, because also Pluto is making a trine to this full moon. And so Pluto is about getting also rid of all the labels that we put on ourselves. What have we identified with? And what I really am? And Scorpio is also asking us really to tune into our intuition. So now it's the moment that we have to trust more our intuition and less our mind. It's always like this, but in this moment even more. So let's try to really, even if it comes super quick and it looks more as a thought than really a feeling, let's try to grasp what is coming, not through the mind, through sensation, to automatical body response somehow, to people, to situations. Let's listen to how our body responds, because also Taurus is much connected to the body, the wisdom of the body. Getting really into a slow pace. So let's slow down, take some precious time for ourselves. Getting in touch with our resources, getting in touch with our talents, getting in touch with our home. And from this home, let's also trust the process, even if it's painful, even if it's challenging. I wish you a wonderful eclipse.